Hello, welcome to this video. In today's video, I'm going to look at a key accessory that I am going to be taking with me throughout the year to all of the road trips I'm going to be on. So throughout the year, I go to lots of different conferences. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be heading off to the QuickBooks Get Connected London event. I'm then down to Birmingham to go to the FAB event, which is the Festival of Accounting and Bookkeeping. After that, I've got potentially the Digital Accountancy Show. Then we've got Accountex in London. And then we've got just loads of other events. These events are fantastic, but they're very long days. And they're long days, and you're always got your phone on you. You're always taking calls, messages and stuff. Your iPad's running, checking your emails, stuff like that. And one thing that you always lack at these events is PowerPoints to plug into. So what I always do is I make sure I take my right power banks to keep my phones and devices charged. So I want to show you the top 2 power banks that I use on every trip that I take. Now remember, this video is not sponsored. These are my own views. Anchor don't even know who I am, apart from the fact they've had my credit card details at some point. But these 2 devices are phenomenal. And if you want to get these devices and you want to help the channel out, then there's a referral link down below to Amazon, where I'll get a small cut of the amount that you spend on Amazon when you click on that link to buy these power banks. Okay, so I take 2 key power banks with me. One is this one here, and the other one is this one. So they're both Anchor. They're fantastic power banks. One is great, it's got MagSafe, it's ideal for charging your mobile phone. So we'll take a closer look at that. The other one is also Anchor, and this is a 10,000 milliamp battery. So this is going to be able to put your iPad from 0 to 70% in one go. It's also got some fantastic features that make you fully aware of where you're up to with all its charging capacities and stuff. So yeah, really good little tool, this one. So let's have a look at these in depth and how I use them. So first of all, I'm going to have a look at this Anchor one here. So this is the one that I use for all of my phone charging, basically. I know in this Anchor battery pack is enough power to basically get my phone another full charge. So why have I gone for this one? What's so good about this Anchor pack that I use it over all the other packs that are available? Well, this is actually the second version of this one I've had. I really liked the first one. It had a great amount of power. The MagSafe on it was fantastic. So if I connect this to my phone, there we go, nice and easy. It's got a good grip on there, like I can pick my phone up by it, no problems at all. Absolutely fantastic. What I really like about it though, is it folds out at the back. So I get a nice stand. So I can get a nice stand holding my phone up and making that really nice and easy. So on top of that though, it also now tells me how much power the unit's got here. So I've got my nice LED indicators. But the reason I went and upgraded this one is not because it's got more battery power or anything like that. It's actually because they've moved this USB-C charging port. So the old USB used to be down here in line with your mobile phone. But because they've put this one here, that makes life so much easier. So I can have this sat on the train, sat here. I'm sat there watching my movies, watching my programs, bit of Netflix maybe on the train, and I can have my charging cable plugged in to the side. So I can have my charging cable plugged into the side. Simple as that. So I can sit here watching my Netflix programs, watching YouTube. The phone is charging and the device itself is charging, because I couldn't do that on the old Anchor pack and a lot of other power packs because the USB-C cable part is on the wrong part. So that just makes this so much easier, and I can pick up a sneaky charge on both my phone and my Anchor pack wherever I am, whenever I need it. So that's my first power bank. So the second power bank, this one here, this is the Anchor power bank again. I really like Anchor. They're really robust, great quality. And I've never had one break. I've only ever replaced it because they've upgraded it in such a way that I want to be using the latest one. So what do I like this one for? Well, first of all, 10,000 milliamp battery. That is pretty significant. Like, that's enough to get your iPad Air, which is what I've got. So I've got an iPad Air 5, 5th generation. It's enough to get that from 0 to 70% in just using this, and probably more if you're not using the iPad at the same time. I also like the fact that I'm never rooting around for the cable because it's part of the device. It's hardwired in here, so it's fantastic, and that cable then becomes a nice little handle for it. So nice handle for it, built in. The cable doesn't go anywhere, walkies, and there's nothing worse than having your power bank and go, well, where's the bleeding cable to plug it into the device? So that's all great. The cable comes out nicely and plugs into any USB-C. On top of that though, you can always plug in a USB-C out and a USB out. So if you're charging this device, you use the cable that's provided, okay? So that's an IQ in and out. So that's designed to make sure you don't overheat your phones and your tablets when you're using it. But if you need to charge another device, so you can be charging one device with this USB-C cable, another device can be charging from that USB-C, and a USB if you've got a bit of an older cable, which occasionally we get, don't we? Now, 10,000 milliamp battery over 3 devices, it's not going to go hugely far, but it will put a few hours into your iPads, your phones. So I've even used this in the past to charge, put some charge into my MacBook Pro for when I'm out and about on it. Although, to be fair, the MacBook Pro very rarely runs out of charge. So one of the things I love about this is the fact I get a display on it telling me 100%, and that's great. That tells me how much battery life's in it. But also, if I plug this in, so I want to charge this device, for example, so I plug that in here. It's now telling me how many hours worth of charge it's got, based on the amount of charge being taken out of this device into the other device. If I was charging this device from the wall, it will tell me how much longer I've got to wait until this is 100% charged. So that's great. I can now work out how long do I need to hang around the hotel until this is charged up again, or how long until this is going to be empty based on the amount of battery it's consuming, the device it's plugged into is consuming. So that's really, really handy information. And you just don't get that from power banks normally. So there we've got it. They're my 2 key power banks. It doesn't matter whether I've got my overnight bag, my day away from the office bag, my pop into the coffee shop bag. Doesn't matter what bag I'm running with. I always make sure these 2 devices are in that bag ready to go. I'm not one to let my batteries run down to 0. It's not my style. It gives me the anxiety that my battery's getting low. Oh my God, am I going to have enough battery to get through? However, having these 2 in my bag gives me complete confidence that I can leave the hotel room at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, which I do constantly for conferences, and I don't need to worry about getting back and charging my device until I get back that night. You know, at these conferences, you go from 7 in the morning, go down for breakfast, go out, go to the conference, go for a drink afterwards, socialise. It could be midnight before you're back in the room. So to be able to keep a phone charged all that time is absolutely imperative. So to have these power banks just make sure I can do that at all times, no problems at all. So hopefully you found that video useful. If you're getting ready to go to a conference for the accounting and bookkeeping world, which loads of conferences coming up in 2024, make sure you've got a power bank with you that will keep pushing your phone and keeping it charged. Make sure it's a good quality power bank as well. There's nothing worse than plugging one in that you've realised actually it's already flat. Hopefully you found that useful. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hello, my name's Johann. QuickBooks Advanced is a lot more powerful than QuickBooks Online. Okay, so I've decided to pack in work. It's about 5:15. But it's a good business, the owner just doesn't care. I'm not sure how much good content Liz is getting out of this.
We are live. I've got Johann Goree in the house.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask the Accountant We Have Cool Friends. Aaron and I actually met and came up with the idea of this podcast